everyone, Melanie Minshinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have a project for you with my newest set from Gina K Designs, Fresh Flowers 2. I showed this card in our release party a few weeks ago, and Fresh Flowers, the original set that actually two-step stamps into my Fresh Flowers 2, is back in stock. So I wanted to show you how you can create this card with these fillers. I've also had a lot of people asking about how to do the water in these different containers. So today we're going to do that. The products to make this particular card, and I'm going to trade out some of the card stocks. I am misplaced my scalloped master layout dies, so I am just using a couple of the rectangle dies from master layouts and the stitched one, which I love, so it's going to be a little bit smaller mat. But we've got some of the Gina K white, some of the black onyx, and I think I might be throwing on a scrap of some red just to really make this flower pop. I'm going to show you how you can use different scraps of cardstocks in your layouts rather than having to always cut new ones. You're also going to be using the coordinating dies, so there's just one set that will cut out all of these images. It's a twofer, so we love that. You will need something to stamp with, so either some acrylic blocks or a MISTI tool. I have got my little score buddy here, which I just scored that Gina K Pure Luxury Heavy Base Weight White cardstock at 5.5 inches. It's a 4 1/4 by an 11 inch piece, excuse me. And then we're going to be using some different ink pads today. I've got the Gina K Designs Amalgam ink. This is the jet black, perfect for stamping whether you're going to either be doing two-step or you're coloring light on images. The colored ink pads that I'm going to use for today, I've got the Ocean Mist for my water. I've got a couple different greens for stamping the leaves and stems. I've got a red that I'm going to be using. This is the Red Hot. Oh, excuse me, I didn't say which ones these are. This is the Jelly Bean and the Grass Green. This is the Red Hot. And then this is the Wild Wisteria. So we're going to be stamping the flowers today in just one color, but then I'm going to show you how you can take a marker and just add in a little bit more color so you give them a little bit more dimension without needing two ink pads. But I'm also going to show you how with your MISTI you can just double up the layers of the one color to create more depth in those flowers. There's just so many different ways that you can do these. You could also use your markers, of course, to color in these line art images, but today I want to show you how they work together and how quickly you can just pop those in and you've got colored flowers. Also got some Gina K Connect glue and then my little picker tool if we want to add some little flat sequins for just some bling. And then I went ahead and I die cut all of my pieces. So I used the new Gina K Intracut. It is fabulous. Just had to do one pass with all these and I got perfect cuts. You're going to need another little scrap of paper for doing the die cuts on the flowers. So I have pre-cut those images. Let's get started getting them stamped out and then we can assemble our card. So I saved the piece. This is the one that I had the container, those two flowers, and then this little stem, leaf, and bud. And I think that's just going to make a really nice, beautiful, full arrangement. So the first thing I want to do, I want to start with those line art images. So these are from the new Fresh Flowers 2 set. So let's get these all lined up inside those negative die cut pieces there. And let's see, then I'm using this flower. And I always like to look for, there's usually one petal that kind of helps me identify what direction. So this one is longer and more rounded. That's an easy way to find that one. And then this one has a really big petal. Should have brought my readers out for doing this. Getting older now, I have some struggles with my close-up vision. And oh, I might have had this, I had that one turned around, I think. Okay, so this one's going to go that way. So I'm going to do that one in a second. I'm going to do that one separately. So I have these in both sets this little stem, but I've got it flipped in this set so that when you are creating wreaths or little swags, you have images that are going both ways. So yeah, I think when I did the die cut, I had that flipped over. Okay, that's okay. All right, so now what we want to do is we're going to close the door and we're going to put these images in just like this. Okay. There's that longer rounded one. And then this image. Okay, make sure they're all down. And oh, my Chucky is not on my desk. So I'm just gonna have to go over really carefully. That's the name of the little tool for helping you apply pressure all over. So I'm just gonna rub, rub, rub. Okay. Right, that looks good. We can do maybe one more just on those flowers, really nice and solid. Take this one off. And one more time, rub, rub, rub. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to, you can either do this with your Misty or you can do this with your acrylic blocks. I'm going to take these off real quick and put them on the reference page. So now I want to find those coordinating flowers. So I've got the solid one, this one, these are dahlias. Okay, and then remember I'm also going to be using that oval. So let's get these colored pieces done. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, let's see, which color did I decide I wanted to do these in? I think I want to do this one. Let's see. Put this back in here. I hadn't decided how I wanted to do it. Okay. All right, so we're going to put that in there. Okay. There. All right, so ink this up with the Red Hot. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and do the solid one. Put this one right like that. What you can also do when you're stamping these, if you really want to make sure that you are getting it just exactly in that outline, is you can place it on there because I really like the little cushion mat underneath. And so I use that a lot of times even when I am not using that little Misty window door. I can just go on here. So if you don't have a Misty, you're going to look for, there's that longer rounded piece, and you just hover over it, over the image, pardon my head, until you don't see any white. It's just perfectly lined up with that outline. You can hear a little squirrel outside my window. Okay, and now, so that's all filled in now, so easy. What I want you to see though is that you can also, I'm just rocking and rolling. I'm getting just the edges of this inked up. I hope you can see that. And then I'm going to stamp it again, and this is just going to make, pardon my head, the edges of those petals a little deeper. Okay, and that just creates a nice little glow. You could do that on the red too, but I am going to actually go in with a red marker. Oh, I think I forgot to show you my markers. So I'm just using just one of my Arteza markers here. This is A411 Ruby Red. So I'm going to just show you how you can go under these petals. You'll decide which direction, I'm going to fill that in a little bit there, which direction you want your flower facing. And I'm just tracing underneath each of the petals with my darker red marker, and that is just really giving this so much dimension. Any place also that you see a lot of black, that I've got that shading built in, you can just put it right in there, right over that. So I'm going under here, under here. So it's not necessary to do that, but it just really adds a lot, just wherever the petals are meeting or overlapping. Okay. All right. I've also got a yellow here that I can just add a little bit of yellow in the center of this flower. And I can also go in, and if I want to do just a little bit of darker purple on the center of this, I can take my pad and I can just swipe the corner into, hope you can see that. There's that round long petal. So I'm going to do this just one more time. Just trying to show you a variety of options. And that's just going to make it look like that flower is opening up, giving it that deeper color near the center. Okay, now let's do this water. So what I like to do with my new set, I have this oval in here, and let me show you on top of just the package so that you can see this oval. This oval here, this can be either, I saw a really brilliant idea of putting this as a little saucer, but it's meant to create a water line at any level on this tall straight vase, but also just where that oval will meet on the pot. You could pretend this is a clear pot, a see-through pot, or this little rounded vase. So it's really fun. And I'm going to stamp this. You could do it with the black, but I want it to look more subtle, so I'm going to be using the Ocean Mist. So just decide where you want that water line to be. Okay, and just line it up with the edges. It's a perfect match. And I have got just an aqua marker, any light blue marker, whether you're using Copics or Spectrum Noir or Arteza markers. So I'm just going to fill this in just really lightly, just go over it, and I'm coloring in circles so that you don't see my lines. And I'm going to go on the outside. I want to make it a little bit deeper there along the edge. But just inside, I'm just going over it, over it, over it. And then on the bottom, this is where it's going to look the darkest, and then it's going to have a little bit of reflection and have the edge of that glass vase there for the water. Okay, now let's go ahead. I'm going to go back to the Fresh Flowers set. This has stems in it. So you've got leaves in both sets. You've got a solid stem that you can use when you're doing your two-step stamping in the Coordinating Fresh Flowers. And some of you might have tried to buy this on release night. It was not back in stock yet, but now it is. So you can get both sets and put them both in your cart. So I am taking the lighter green, the jelly bean for my stem, and I'm going to just roll just kind of the top of that on there, and that is where there's going to be overlap with my flower. And then I'm going to put another one just right about here. Okay. So that stem can go either direction when you turn it to the left or the right. And so we're gonna have them right about here. And then I wanna fill in my little, there we go. Fill in this little leaf. I'm gonna do the black first, and then I'm gonna fill it in with a green. Okay. And I'm gonna use some of that red marker too. Right there. All right, so we're gonna use this coordinating little solid piece. And I'm gonna use the lighter green on this. And you could roll the edges if you want, kind of the bottom of those leaves in the darker. Just pop that in there. Okay, so there is my green. You could color this in with markers too if you want, or you could take a deeper green and kind of just put a little more just to kind of supplement that, get even darker. All right, so let me grab, here's my original card. So let me grab this. Oh, and I don't remember if I said the foam squares or not. Where are my foam squares? Definitely want to have some depth on this. Oh, where did they go? Here's my, just had them. All right, I'll figure that out in a second. I know that I had them out. Okay, so we're gonna lay these out on our little arrangement. And I think I want to go ahead, I want to create more depth here, so I'm going to do a leaf in the background right back here. So this one, so you don't have to die cut every little piece out. Having some on your back mat, that's going to really push that backwards and then make the other ones come forward. And I'm gonna grab just this green. I'm gonna do it a little bit darker back here. And you could also fill this in. Okay. All right, so where, holler if you see them. I think they're off camera somewhere. Have them in the stack. Okay, under. I had everything ready to go. Where is it? Put them away? Did not put them away. Okay, all right. I have to call an audible here. Give myself 5 seconds to find my foam squares, otherwise I just have to start gluing stuff down. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating when that happens. All right, not the end of the world though. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna do this arrangement a little bit more centered. So you can see, just these are really nice big images that really will fill up your card front. Okay, put that about there, that about there. I really, really want, I'm gonna make just a shadow underneath here with my marker. So I'm going to fill that in a little bit. Okay, and so then I'm going to glue these on. Just very gently. Really want to find those foam squares. I want to blame my cat is what I want to do, but she's not in here, so I can't do that. And I'm going to point this one actually this way, like it going like that a little bit more. And then this. Just like that, tuck that under. Oh, so pretty. Okay, and then I want to center this on this master layout square. And some of these mats are very thin, but then you can also layer them in different ways so that you've got a little bit more dramatic, thick mat. Okay, and then I had this piece of red. I can layer that on there. So this is just a piece that I had on my desk from when I was creating. So you don't always have to have a border on all four sides of your mats. You can layer them up in different ways. Like here on this one, I put the black on there just underneath with a scallop popping up above. And so this, I'm just centering that. And then we'll put this on like this. Oh, and I got, let's see, where's my sand eraser? Let me see if I can get off this little ink that I got there. If not, I'm just gonna flip it over. Okay, some Connect glue. And then I'm gonna do the greeting inside my card. And let's go ahead and do, since I couldn't do my dimension, I'm gonna put some little, few of my little sequins on here. Sometimes the little backing comes off and they really are clear. They're not mirrored. Okay. I forgot to use my pick tool. Just all over the place since I can't find my foam squares. Put a little bit on there, a little bit here. That's going to disguise that little mark I made. That. Like that. So this jewel picker is so handy. Those little things that are just kind of persnickety and want to pop off your fingers. Just like that. So much easier. All right, so there we have our card. So easy to do. And I think I want to go back in and just do just a little bit more of this red here. So fun to just add a little bit more wherever you see that you need it. When you're finished, just add a little bit more color and a little bit more pop to those flowers. I hope you're excited about using these sets together, and again, just these new images that I've added that just make it so versatile. Putting these together, it just gives you so many options for techniques, whether you're feeling like coloring your images or just doing the two-step stamping. I think for my next one, I'm going to show you how I did this card. There's no coloring on this one. It's just solid collage stamping with your pads, and I love that. So come back for the next video. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you'll enjoy Fresh Flowers and Flesh Flowers 2 together. Thank you for watching. God bless.